I'll call this public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is joining us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the item listed under the closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the direction provided by the clerk of the opening of each item. Ms. Elizondo.
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. We will allow speakers from the audience to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Lyle. This is not really on the agenda, but I have to go back and forth, so I hope that you can allow me just to give you this out. This is the invitation for the upcoming Fresno Madera Service Center school board dinner that many of you have gone through in the past. So again, if I'm back and forth, I'd rather just do this right now because I will probably forget. So it is on Tuesday, March 4th. The venue has not yet been set, but they've got a real fancy little these computer codes here now that you can scan. And so I'm just going to give you all the info.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Comment at this time, President Seibert.
Seeing none, hearing none, I close public hearing and adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will reconvene at the conclusion of closed session. Ready? Okay, everybody ready? Oh, who's gonna do the flag? Anybody want to volunteer for the flag salute? You do it. All right, we'll get going. I'll make it 6:35. Okay.
Alicea.
Pardon?
Pastor Alicea.
Oh, my
We'll say it for you if you like.
God. Ready? Good evening, everyone. It is 5:30 p.m. and I will call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I want to welcome the media and everyone joining us in person and on Zoom. We ask those joining this evening to please silence your electronic devices not linked to this meeting. If you would like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the direction provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, staff, members of the public, I'd like to remind us all of our vision, our mission this evening. Our vision states that Madera Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we're committed to creating and sustaining a culture, enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that's intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's the nature of our business this evening, sir.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 3, roll call. Ms. Elizondo, would you please call roll?
Trustee Campos Gutierrez.
Present.
Trustee Duque Martinez.
Present.
Trustee Ahmad,
Here.
trustee Cortez,
Here.
trustee Dybert. Here. Trustee Fleek,
Here.
trustee Salazar. Here. Clerk Mendoza,
Here.
and President Seibert.
Here. Thank you, Maria. Trustee Mendoza, would you lead us in the flag salute?
Yes, please stand. Flag. Flag is towards the back. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice.
Thank you, Clerk Mendoza. Tonight's schedule invocation will be by Pastor Joe Alicia,
Alicea, yes.
a walk-in church of God in Madera. I invite Pastor Alicia to the podium.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for this amazing privilege. I would like to, as part of our invocation, read one verse of scripture, and then we pray, if that's okay. James chapter 1, verse number 5. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. Let us bow and let us pray. Lord and Father, we thank you for this amazing privilege. This privilege to be part of an amazing community. We thank you, God, for allowing us to gather together to discuss the business of what we hold most valuable, which is our children. We pray, Lord Jesus, that you give us the wisdom necessary to make the correct decisions. I pray, God, for a board of trustees. I pray you give them wisdom and discernment, Lord, as we deal with sometimes sensitive matters. I pray, God, that you give them the insight to do the right thing, the correct thing, and what's in the best interest for our children, our staff, our faculty, our community, Lord, and all those involved in this amazing community of Madera. We worship you and we glorify you in this place. We thank you for all your good gifts. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Item 4, closed session, reportable actions. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, we have none this evening, sir.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 5, adoption of the agenda. Ms. Elizondo.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to the adoption of the agenda.
Superintendent Lyle, staff have items to add or remove from the agenda.
And since we are talking about.
Trustees, you have items to add or delete from the agenda.
President Seibert, I do, trustee Salazar. In the consent agenda, there's item 9G3, approve the consultant services agreement with ERC. I would like to discuss that further with staff.
Trustees, I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda with the consideration of item 9G3. Please state your name and make a motion and a second. When you
Trustee
Second.
Dybert, I move to adopt the agenda with the modification noted.
Trustee Fleek, all second.
It's been moved by trustee Dybert and seconded by trustee Fleek to adopt the agenda. Ms. Elizondo, would you please poll the board for the record?
Trustee Campos Gutierrez,
Yes.
trustee Duca Martinez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent, and 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you. Item number 6, communications. Item number 6A, student staff recognition. Item number 6A1, recognize the Torres High School Boys Cross Country Team, Superintendent Lyle.
So President Cyber Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, this is where we get the gift of Marty Bitter's Gab. Director Bitter is here. He's our district athletic director, and the students at Torres High School have clearly started to develop what is, I think by all accounts, a dynasty. So Director Bitter, if you would, please. Try that again.
Push it to get
There
it
you
on.
go.
Okay, no PE voice. Thank you very much, Superintendent Lyle, President Siebert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board. It's a huge honor for me to be here. We haven't been here this year. Last year was an anomaly, all kinds of championships. That's just not how every year goes in sports. Although this year we've been extremely competitive. There is one group that sticks out, and it's the group that's here tonight. I'm going to call up Coach Herrera here in a few minutes, but I do want to give you a couple tidbits of information from them. This is back-to-back Valley Championships for this cross-country team. I had the privilege of opening Madera South, and Jose, Coach Herrera, was the one that kind of started the whole ball of wax at Madera South and the dynasty that program started and continues to be extremely competitive. So I appreciate him so much. And now to turn around and give back, start a new school with no coaching experience and getting a head coaching job, and to put his team in this position in such a short period of time is amazing. So this is 3 in a row in Division II. This year they won the section championship, which moved them on to the state cross country meet. They ran in Division II in the state and finished 3rd, 1 spot off the podium. However, they ran the 5th fastest time out of all of the cross country teams at the state meet. Which is pretty remarkable. Cross country works a little bit different. Most of our sports work on competitive equity. Cross country works on seabeds for the most part, which puts them in Division II. Finishing 3rd in Division II was the 5th overall fastest. Had they ran in Division I, which is the highest division, they'd be sitting here tonight not only as section champions, but they'd be state champions. That's how fast that they ran. Only 4 other teams, none of which were in Division I. They also broke, I think everybody here, or most people here might remember Mr. Albertson when he was our HR director. His son, CJ, was a pretty outstanding runner in high school and college, and now professionally, one of the best marathoners in the United States. His Buchanan team held the cross-country record for the course at Woodward Park, which, it's probably the premier course in California. Every state meet is held there. This year, this group broke a 16-year record for team time overall team time at Woodward Park with 77 minutes and 31 seconds. The previous was 77:48. So not only did they break it, but they broke it by a fair amount. So the things that this group is doing is absolutely incredible. At this time, I'd like to take the time to introduce Coach Jose Herrera, so you can meet him. This guy is a newly elected Madera Athletic Hall of Famer as well. I do want to give a few words on behalf of Jordan, who is unable to be here tonight. It's senior night, so he's out doing his senior thing over at Torres, but he had many thanks. And one of those, when he wrote it down, was thanking the kids, the student athletes, for the belief and the buy-in into what Coach was selling. He wanted to thank the coaching staff for the sportsmanship and integrity and the culture with which they build their program. And he wanted to thank the parents for all of their help and support and making sure that the kids were fed, get to places that they need to get to, and we're doing all the things that parents, sometimes us as parents get more involved than we probably should. And they were parents that were supportive of what was going on. And when you have kids that buy in, great coaching, and wonderful supportive parents, it's a recipe for success, and that's why they're here. So, Coach, I'll let you have it.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for having us here tonight. Mr. Bitter basically summed everything up all throughout everything that happened throughout the season. We did finish on the podium. We got third place. So, I mean, the boys did. The boys finished on the podium, and the last time that's happened was in 2014 when Madera South ended up in second place and they went to Nike Cross Nationals. I mean, I'm thankful to be here coaching these kids ever since Jordan and Mr. Bitter gave me this opportunity to help these kids out and everybody else that's gonna be coming up. I told them that Madera has always had a rich history of running in this community. So, I mean, there's been so many great runners that come out of this town. They make it to college. And I mean, I have a brother that's running professionally, but it's like I tell these boys right here and the girls that I coach, at the end of the day, I do this so that they can be getting a full ride scholarship and have their parents right there with them signing a letter of intent. I mean, it's the same thing that I was pushing for when I was running. It's the same reason why I pushed my brother to run at the same time. And I mean, I could not have asked for anything else this season. I mean, the fastest team ever in the Central Section history, that's already a big bonus. And then for them to finish on the podium, since the summer camp, I told them that they're the best team out there, and they believe, they worked hard, they pushed, even all those crazy hard workouts that I'd give them. They'd question me sometimes, but I'd have to make them understand again. You know, it's the same thing that my coaches in high school believed in us so much, and I'm trying to do the same thing for them. And I mean, I can't wait to keep on coaching these kids and to see what else they got to do for the rest of the season. And once returning, I know we're gonna come back hungrier. Madera still needs that state title, and that state title in this sport is really hard because I mean, it just takes 5 guys, and those 5 guys have to be fighting together throughout the whole season. It's a lot of hard work, but the sacrifice will eventually pay off. I want to introduce the guys, and I'll start off with the assistant coach, Coach Jeremy Hanna. And then I have the fastest runner that we have, where he has a school record. He ended up in the top 10, who was at 6th place at the state meet, Benjamin Fernandez. And then I have a senior, Buffalo Soto. And then I have one of the fastest freshmen in the Central Section this year, Antonio.
Pronounce like barely fucking moving.
It usually does that.
Like this?
Yeah, yes, it does that shit.
I have
I don't
another
know.
junior. He's the second man on the team, also one of the top juniors in the state. He placed 9th in the state championships, Hunter Hanna. And then I have another one on the varsity team, another junior. He'll be returning next year, Angel Ramirez. And then another junior that has put in a lot of hard work this summer and last year. He was talking to me about like just giving up because he's been hurt the past 2 years. And for him to come back, honestly, for him to come back and keep pushing and doing this for his teammates, he helped the team be on the podium also. We couldn't be more thankful to have him on the team. Alfonso Del Toro. Okay. And then I have another senior on the team, Christian Macias. And then the last senior on the team, Noah Felix Andrade. Oh, just one more thing to add. It's like I tell these boys, all the hard work, eventually it's gonna pay off. If it's not a state title, unfortunately, that will come. But they just got invited from Nike to go to Portland in next cross country season. And they're giving the team a $1,000 scholarship fund to help the team travel. So we'll fundraise some money for that, for the flights. But I mean, this is another big reward that they get. They get invited to a big prestigious meet, and we couldn't be more thankful. But thank you guys for having us here tonight. I appreciate everybody for the support. Madera supports this cross-country team a lot. And I want every kid that comes out, no matter what high school it is, to come out and be successful in the sport, because there's a lot of kids out here in this town that can be really fast and eventually get a 4A scholarship. But thank you guys. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready? So gentlemen, you stay right there. You stay right there. And then what we do is we pretend like we had something to do with your success. We stand here with you, and just by that very fact, we get a little skinnier and better looking. I don't grow any more hair, that's for sure. But we're really proud of you, and we really thank you for representing the community and bringing so much honor and prestige to Madera. We hear everywhere we go from other districts just how hard it is to beat you and how classy you guys are everywhere you go and how you represent us. I want to thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Hey, thank you. Congratulations. That's fine, man. Congratulations. Thank you.
Where the love comes from
You'll be
and
up-
why
you
they're
guys-
successful.
Congratulations.
I just want to say one more thing before I go. I do a lot of work with the CIF, and there's nothing better than being able to give a plaque to your own kids. So that's kind of huge reward for me. So Coach, you and your team, thank you.
Well, I want to wish congratulations to the coaches and all the hard work they do and for the team. You know, McFarland had got nothing on you guys, I guess, huh?
Future movie to be made.
Okay, next item is 6A2, Madera Minute.
So President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board and public, we have.
Here,
a
Everett, let's
video
get
here,
your
like
best
we do every
ready.
week, of our highlights of what's been happening in Madera Unified, and it has been a lot as per usual.
James Monroe Elementary celebrated Hmong New Year with a vibrant assembly featuring teachers in traditional attire. This festival marks the end of the harvest season, bringing families together to celebrate the old year and welcoming the new one. And Lincoln Elementary students rolled out the donations. The students collected almost 1,000 rolls of toilet paper for the Madera Rescue Mission. In addition, Lincoln 6th graders made and donated 20 beanies. So way to go, Lions. In other things, Eduardo Lalo Herrera, a Madero South High School alumnus, set a new Mexican record in the 5,000 meters at the John Thomas Terrier Classic in Boston. His achievements inspire many Madera Unified athletes. The community came together to support the cheer teams from Madera South and Madera High School during a national send-off showcase. The event also featured performances by the JV cheer team from Martin Luther King Middle School and other local performers. The high school cheer teams are set to compete in Anaheim later this month. And hundreds of students from the Madera Unified Public Safety Program had the chance to explore future career opportunities during the Public Safety Career Day at Madera South High School. Students from all 3 high schools in the district, along with middle schools, interacted with representatives from 25 different agencies, including those in fire services, law enforcement, healthcare, and more.
Okay. Superintendent Lyles, yeah.
No, that's it.
Okay, item 6B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Ms. Lozano.
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speakers to hold a comment until the item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. Go ahead and step up to the podium, press the button on the mic.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Lyle. My name is Erin Stanley, and I'm a resident here in Madera. I am speaking on behalf as a parent of a current 7th grader at Madison Elementary School. My son is enrolled in, and my daughter are both enrolled in the DLI program, and I want to address the board about the 7th graders and their course selections and MTech not being an option for them to look into for their 8th grade electives. So I have some things that I'd like to ask of you to think about for some decisions. As we have our mission, our vision, our core values that we work by to support our students, and I'm here to advocate for my child as well. We have questions we ask ourselves as in the district about making decisions as our core values, being student-centered. Are we making decisions that are focused on our students' needs? To exclude students based on the language of their learning, we are not doing that. I would like you to ask yourself as well, are we creating a collaborative culture where we're facilitating that within our district to exclude students based on the language they're learning in? We are not doing that. Are we looking to promote excellence for all when we exclude students who choose to learn another language in their education? We are not doing that by excluding them. I would also like you to think and ask yourself, are we fostering and deepening our relations with our community partners by excluding students based on the language they choose to learn in? We are not doing that. I would also like you to think about our learning organizations. Are we further developing our learning organizations by excluding our students based on the language they choose to learn in? We are not doing that. I would also like you to think and have an honest discussion about all our current 7th graders who are enrolled in Madison and having an opportunity to attend a school like MadTech. All of our other county schools have that same opportunity. The bus literally drives by their school to pick up and drop off other students. They should have that same opportunity. The beauty of bilingualism is if they were able to go to MadTech and take those classes in English when they came back to Madison, their bilingual teachers could support their Spanish language and their Spanish courses back on campus. Thank you for your time today.
You can hear me though, right? Great. Okay, the series of books is called Neighbors, Oral History from Madera, California. And I've just recently finished the 4th volume, which is about Madera's public schools. Just before I began, I spoke with Julie O'Kane, and her opinions are very valuable. And she said, well, what's the purpose of this book? And I said, oh, well, it's just to start a community conversation. All good things start with talking about it. That's it. That's the only thing that's involved. So I wish to start that conversation. It was my hope that you might read the book. And I've left a card with your superintendent, Lyle, so that you can get copies at a Good Buddy discount. I want to thank you very much for your time. You have a nice evening.
All right, well, I'll speak louder then. My name is Chad Stanley, resident of Madera my whole life. I'm here to talk to everybody today a little bit more about piggybacking my wife and talking about opportunity for all the kids here in the district. So as you heard, I have 2 children that are in the DLI program at Madison. It's been a great program, really love it. I think the world of it. And really today to talk to you about the opportunities that maybe my son and other students may not have access to, and that would be MTech. And I bring that up based on if you knew my son, you knew what his interests were, and you knew how he operates, that I see this as, you know, an opportunity for him to further expand upon his skill set, things that interest him. I lack the understanding of why we couldn't make this happen for all 7th and 8th graders or 8th graders. I do know it's a lottery system. I do know that it goes based on population for all the 8th grade students that apply, and it's divvied out. But to have a select group of kids not have that opportunity really strikes me in awe. I don't understand why we wouldn't offer that to the inaugural DLI program. Now, I know we made a decision to be part of the DLI program, but I do think that there's an opportunity to find a workaround where we can meet both objectives of the students having that opportunity and still supporting the learning in the DLI program. My wife gave a great example of it being split into 2 different half a day, so to speak. And you can do the English side at MTech. You could do the Spanish side at Madison. So for me, I'd like you to think about if you were in my shoes and you had a child that's been in the DI program since the very first day. He's come a long way. But when you think about opportunities, I don't understand why he would not have the same opportunities as every other 8th grader within this district. So please consider it, talk about it. I'm sure we can maybe find a way to offer that to all the students here in the school district. All right. Thank you.
We have no others on Zoom.
Thank you. Seeing no one else come forward, I'll close public hearing. Item number 7, Student Board Representative Report. We have Eric Cortez of Madera High School. Can you come forward? Give your report.
Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the board and members of the community. I'm here to present the Coyote column. Last month, our ASB kicked off the new year on National Rubber Ducky Day by taking the Coyote family on a duck hunt. Hundreds of rubber ducks were hidden around campus for students and staff to uncover in exchange for some sweet prizes. Or they were able to just keep them. It was a pleasant surprise that helped start off the year with a little bit of humor. Next. Athletics. This month has been filled with excitement in the Joe Flores Gym, from CMAC wrestling to Little Coyotes hoops on the weekend. There has been no shortage of action. Currently, our Coyote boys basketball team sits atop first place in the league, led by junior Stevie Estrada, who has now scored 1,000 career points. Tomorrow night, our boys travel across town in hopes of making history by bringing home the first league title in over 2 decades. Next. Over 130 ASB leadership students from all 3 comprehensive high schools participated in the 2nd annual District Day of Service. Student leaders spent the day all over Madera working on various projects, from cleaning up Millview Park to helping at the animal shelter and serving meals at the rescue mission. It was a great day serving the community of Madera as we hope to inspire future generations. I myself participated in the rescue mission and found it very enjoyable. We celebrated National Counselors Week by surprising our team with breakfast on Monday morning and social media spotlights. Throughout the week, we found ways to highlight the importance of our counseling team, such as interviewing students and writing notes on gratitude, which we presented at a special luncheon for them. Next. Coyote Drama has had a busy and productive winter season. Highlights included the 2nd annual Madera Unified Theater Festival, where the heads of Chanticleer Theater, the only professional theater between the Bay Area and LA, gave a special award to Addison Rollins. We're happy to report that she was asked to audition for their inaugural production in Fresno this summer. Additionally, our Coyote Thespians competed against 75 other schools this past weekend in Folsom from all across California and Nevada. We are happy to report that 6 Yotes brought home individual honors. Coyote Drama was led by Amira Peruch, who earned a gold medal for her amazing costume designs. Next. FCCLA attended the Red Sand Project at Madera Courthouse Park. On January 30th and the next day, it held its own Red Sand Project on campus. The Red Sand, which represents the lives lost to sex trafficking, was used at events to bring awareness on the topic of sex trafficking. As part of the FCCLA week, the team highlighted service today by treating the staff at MHS to a yogurt bar at break. They are currently making thank you cards for the firefighters in Southern California who helped calm down the fires. Next. Congratulations to our academic decathlon team for taking second place overall at this year's Madera County competition. The Coyotes outbattled all other schools in Madera County to earn top honors as we brought home 22 individual medals. Leading the way was student trustee Angelica Castillo, Isabel Castro, Rosaline Luna, and Sam Pat Stansbury, who earned gold medals. Thanks. This Saturday, Madera FBLA attended the Central Section Leadership Conference at Pittman High School in Turlock. Over 750 students participated, and Madera FBLA did well, with 9 students placing in the top 10. Later this spring, 8 of those students will travel to Anaheim for the state competition. Next. Love is in the air at MHS as we kicked off our Sweetheart Spirit Week with our annual heart attack. ASB leaders created over 2,000 individual hearts for every student and staff member on campus and put them up all over the campus. Students who found their hearts could earn Minga points and free treats at lunch. We look forward to spreading the love all week, which will be capped by our winter rally on Friday. Next. Please take a look at our upcoming events and thank you for your time.
Well done.
Thank you, Eric. Next, we have Carmody Girls of Madera South High School.
Hello, I'm back. And I know it this time. I wrote it down. I'm not going to say friends this time. I actually know it. Okay. Watch. We're good now. We're ready. So, good evening, President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the community. My name is Carmody Burrow, and I'm here representing Madera South. So, some of the latest things that have been going on at Madera South are the FFA latest awards. So I've heard a lot about these awards and I've known that it's very big on campus. We have awards for Matthew, Mrs. Salinas, and Adrian. I don't want to say the last names because I butcher them sometimes and I don't want to be that person. But they all got awards for their amazing achievements this year, and we're all very proud of our FFA students. Our San Joaquin Region Star reporter. So she has done really well with her reports. And I mean, I think Madera South just has really good reporters, but but she got an award for her performance and her report on the areas of journalism, including print media, radio broadcast, television broadcast, and recruitment programs. I'm sorry. And then she will also be interviewing at the state conference in April. So we're really proud of her and we are glad to see her state interview in the future. Our Cheer Kids Camp, we hosted it's like another version of Youth Night. So I added some photos from Youth Night because we were so involved with the kids, we didn't really get that many photos. So I reused some from before. So they might look a little bit familiar, but overall, we had a lot of kids come out, same kids from before, and they all just were very interactive and they all wanted to play and jump around. It was like, let's go get water, guys, let's breathe, because they were just super hyper and everyone was having fun. And it was great to see like our little future stallions having fun and like joining in with the community. And they even performed at our national send-off, which I don't have photos for either because we were all super involved. But they all came out, they all performed, we all had all of our teams perform, all of our sister schools, and it was really good to see everyone come together and just show their love for cheer. Jazz band Disney trip. So I'm not in jazz band, but I heard that they had a lot of fun, and I know that it was just a very fun experience for all of them. I know a lot of the seniors really enjoyed this opportunity, and it was a great way for all of them to bond and have fun, and I heard nothing but great things about this trip. PSA. So I heard that my friend Linda, she's in PSA and she was out there with the Army National Guard, and she was representing as well because of how like she's actively involved in it, and she's just very proud of the way PSA is going. And even all my other friends too that are in it, they just have such nice things to say about it and how everyone comes together with this and is really interactive, and they ask questions, they answer. It's very welcoming, and it's like no pressure because it is such a big thing, but it's like no pressure, but any questions you have, they're answered, like they're noticed, they're acknowledged. Everyone's like you're welcomed and you're appreciated for taking your time to come look into this, which I think is really nice. Cross Country Ring Awards. This was an amazing. I was there. My friend Anai, she was there and she got her ring, and I'm so proud of her because she does multiple sports, but I was there and I was like a little proud mama. I was screaming. I was just having the time of my life watching them get their rings because I know how hard they've worked and I know how much it means to all of them. And it was great to see them all like achieve this and being recognized for their hard work. Mock trial. I heard mock trial was so much fun. They actually got their awards today. I don't know what time, but I know they're supposed to get their awards today from their competition. But one of my friends is in there as well, and she was saying how like they all worked so hard and they had their hardships, and it was good to see how they all just came together and really put on a really great show and a really great performance for their mock trial competition. And I'm just really proud of all of those that are in mock trial because I know that it's a lot of memorizing, it's a lot of doing things that it's a lot of strain, especially on those in sports and other clubs. Like I applaud them for their hard work because it's a lot, and it's something that we definitely should be appreciative about. Academic decathlon. So academic decathlon got 3rd overall in the county, which I think is great because I mean, personally, I'm not in academic decathlon. I was gonna do it, but I got a little scared. But I've heard nothing but great things about academic decathlon, and seeing how it's growing and just seeing the community grow and everyone in there growing together and stronger is great. Valeria received a perfect score and she got a gold medal along with a $100 scholarship for her performance. And then Marissa was the team's highest scoring senior and received a $250 scholarship. HOSA blood drive. I had many friends give blood, and it was such a great thing to see. I had everyone like, oh, I can't do PE today because I drew blood, or oh, maybe I can just get out of this because I drew blood today. Like it was just fun because everyone was just like bonding over the fact that they drew blood, and it was just great to see all these people come together and doing things for the community and also making fun and like having a great time with it, like and laughing about it together. And I'm gonna say it like I always do. I hope everyone comes out for our future events, and thank you so much for your time.
Eric Cortez to present the Madera High School Student Board Representative Report. Not here. Okay,
Student member.
to board member information and report. Okay, trustees, Campos, Gutierrez, I invite you to share your report with the board.
Thank you. Good evening. I'll be starting with the Furman report. Furman has started the second semester with an increased enrollment. We are close to 300 high school students enrolled. As returning and new students settled into their busy regiments, we hope to ease that stress with a nice barbecue provided again by Mr. Bennett to celebrate our 100th day of school, which students and staff alike happily indulged in. Our hardworking leadership students have been working vigorously for our up and coming fundraisers like our recent street taco sale and our sidewalk sale in March. But most recently, Love is in the Air as leadership has begun to sell candygrams for students to buy for their loved ones. Moving on to the Mount Vista report, Mount Vista has started the second semester with some of our Panthers returning to comprehensive sites, as well as receiving new students. We are celebrating the Super Bowl Sunday by having raffles for students and fun football-related activities. Leadership has also rolled out their candygram sales for Valentine's Day. Students will be able to purchase chocolate roses for their classmates in the spirit of Valentine's Days. Our seniors are hard at work placing their best foot forward to complete their graduate profile and to be prepared for their showcase. Our senior showcase will be held on March 24th. And lastly, the Ripperton report. They are successfully continuing with both middle school mentorship as well as their BEEP, Behavioral Elementary Engagement Program. Their students look forward to giving back and serving their community and having received positive praise for the efforts so far. They are scheduled to attend a field trip to the zoo on February 21st. Students started to work in their garden in preparation for spring. That is it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, trustee Campos Gutierrez. Trustee UK Martinez, I invite you to share your report with the board.
Thank you. Good evening. Buenas tardes, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle, staff, and of course, members of the public. I hope you all are doing well and maintaining good health. On Thursday, February 6th, I had the opportunity of joining 3 other student board members from LA County, San Diego, and the Bay Area to speak at the Measure What We Value 2025 Summit. Before 2024 came to an end, we were invited by Parsec Education to be a part of a student panel where we would share our unique experiences and perspective through a series of guiding questions, all relating back to our individual experiences as student board members. Not only was our valuable work highlighted, but also the ways in which we have adapted to the environment around us, and even how others have adapted to having a student representative serving on their board. One of the questions which stuck out to me stated, "Can you share more about your experience of serving as a student representative in an adult-dominated space?" When I thought about my answer to this question back in December, it was undeniable that I would mention the support, open-mindedness, and strength which has surrounded me since the beginning of my experience in 2023. But as I listened to the student leaders seated beside me, my perspective shifted into a deeper appreciation for how much I have been provided with. The other panel members expressed their shared challenges when it came to being treated in a fair and respectful manner. One student mentioned the continuous dismissal of her ideas, actions, comments, or even her presence as a whole. And although I did not share this experience, I took her words to further emphasize how MESD has fostered an environment of inclusivity for all students. I mentioned the feedback the students at Matilda Torres have provided after every student voice meeting, where they bring up Superintendent Lyle's words of reassurance in needed moments. I also touched on the time dedicated to all MUSD members by our Board of Trustees and school site administrators. Walking out of the conference room on Thursday, not only did I learn a little bit more about this position, but I also gained a perspective of what I would like our future student leaders to have an exposure of. With that being said, I look forward to furthering the positive campus climates we hold throughout the district. That concludes my report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, trustee UK Martinez. Item number 9, consent agenda. Ms. Elizondo.
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests specific items be considered and discussed separately and or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
Now open the consent agenda for public comment. Ms. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board on an item included in the consent agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium and or appear on our screen. We don't have anyone online that would like to address the board at this time.
Thank you. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. Now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion, and we second the motion.
President Seibert, I so moved to move for the consent agenda with that one that we wanted to discuss on 9G3, that item that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, that's after the consent
Yeah,
agenda.
so I'm just saying with that removal of the consent agenda.
Where are we,
to be
where are we
approved.
placing that?
New business.
Under new business.
At the end?
Yes, sir.
Mm. Do I have a motion?
I so moved to a motion to approve.
I second. Trustee Diber, I second the
It's
motion.
been moved by trustee Salazar and second by trustee Dybert to approve the consent agenda. There is one resolution in the consent agenda. Ms. Elizondo, would you please poll the board?
Trustee Campos Gutierrez,
Yes.
trustee Duque Martinez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you. Clerk Mendoza, would you like to help with the retirees?
It'll be my pleasure, President Seibert, for the honor and the privilege to address this next issue or next item. At this time, I would like this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for their service, not only for Madera Unified, but also for their service and commitment to the Madera community. Guadalupe Baca, a teacher at La Vina, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 38 years of service. Estela A. Cardiel, an accountant technician 3 at the Accounts Payable Department, will retire on March 3rd, 2025, after 35 years of service. Cynthia Beeks, a teacher at Brenda, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 34 years of service. Christine Freak, a teacher at Madera High School, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 34 years of service. Deborah A. Gauthier, a teacher at Monroe, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 33 years of service. Michael Robley, a teacher at Thomas Jefferson, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 30 years of service. Lorraine Hensel, a teacher at Special Assignments TSA RTL at Sierra Vista, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 28 years of service. Julie McDaniel, a teacher at Nishimoto, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 28 years of service. Diana Roberts Locking, a teacher at Thomas Jefferson, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 24 years of service. Marianne Rock, a teacher at Torres High School, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 15 years of service. Joy Cunningham, a teacher at Lincoln, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 13 years of service. And last but not least, Stacy Brown, a teacher at Madera High School, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 11 years of service. If you happen to see these folks out and about, thank them for their service.
President Cyber, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle. Are there any administrative announcements?
We do have one, as a matter of fact. I'd like to invite Mr. Leonard Perez to address the board, if you would, please. Leonard, you have some big news.
Yes, the floor is mine. Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Superintendent Lyle, Board President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board. I am honored to stand before you this evening for your support and acceptance in the new position of the dual language immersion coordinator for the program, for the teacher residency program. I've been with Madera Unified nearly 21 years and have had many proud moments in my career. Some bigger moments most recently. One of those proud moments was helping open up the first dual language immersion school at Madera Unified. I'm still taken back and inspired by the kindergarten cohort of students and their teachers that we supported that year. We understand that bilingualism and multilingualism enhance cognitive development, academic achievement, and greater cultural understanding. Equally important, we know that the student's identity, sense of belonging, ability to communicate in more than one language strengthens emotional bonds and family and community relationships. I would like to acknowledge and thank Assistant Superintendent Sissel and Director Ochoa for having the confidence in me and providing this opportunity to be part of a winning team who believes in school, teacher, and student success. Also, a huge thank you to Associate Superintendent Rodriguez for his leadership and continued support. I would also like to thank Vice Principal, not President. I don't think he wants that. I don't know. Vice Principal Sandoval for being in attendance and his continued support. And last but certainly not least, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the mighty staff of James Monroe Elementary. They continue to inspire me and make me very proud to be their leader. Their dedication and commitment to the James Monroe community, parents, students, and especially to one another is second to none. Thank you.
So Mr. Perez, just before you sit down, just so we're all on the same page, you were just recently Administrator of the Year for Madera County, right? You're bringing a lot of, you're bringing a lot of expertise to this role and enhancing a really powerful department. And the Monroe Bears teaching staff has been absolutely superb. And that community loves them and they love that community. So I know it's a hard address to relocate away from, right? But that doesn't mean you won't be there. You'll be there quite a bit because we still have plenty of students who need our support. So we'll be very careful in how we continue to value the teachers at Monroe as part of the process moving forward for a future principal. We know they know what they're doing. That's a really good team. And I appreciate the mentorship that you've provided, Mr. Sandoval, who we think a great deal of. And we welcome you aboard. Congratulations. Good luck. And just know that the expectations from that director back there are sky high. You can meet them.
I really appreciate the comments. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, item number 10, information and reports. You have anything on
Yeah,
that?
we do. We have a really important one, as a matter of fact, President Seibert. So, Mr. Holder, this one will give us, this next group will give us hope for our future because we have a former MUTA leader and a former Madera Unified leader who are here to represent the Madera Rotary Club, where they continue to make things better for everybody in our community. So, Ms. Kennedy, Dr. O'Kane, would you please join us and share with us some really good news?
Good evening. I just want to say, because I'm about to bust my buttons, that Mr. Perez was one of my students. That's a wonderful thing to acknowledge. Good evening, Superintendent Lyle, President Seibert, and board members. Dr. O'Kane, and Dr. O'Kane as president of Madera Rotary Club And I'm in charge of literacy, a very minor thing, but we do it well.
You know, that little thing of literacy.
Little thing,
Yeah,
literacy.
That little thing.
Not mine. When we have speakers at the Rotary Club, some of you have been there and realized we don't give you anything. We just ask you to sign a book. And those books are donated to Madera Unified for libraries. By coincidence, the, I think aide in the library called and contacted us just a couple weeks ago and asked if we could help with books. Well, good timing on her part. So I checked with the district, Miss Elizondo, and we made sure that it was okay. And I took almost 80 books out to Lavina School and donated it to their library. So we will continue. This is a sample of some of the books that we have. They're almost all elementary level. So thank you. Thank you for acknowledging us, and we're glad to keep on doing it.
Thank you for the donation. We appreciate it.
Okay, item 10B, union time. At this time, I invite the presidents of the unions to address the board. Mr. Holder?
Board President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, Board Member Superintendent Lyle. I'll be brief. Prior to tonight's board meeting, I and several MUTE officers attended another California Community Schools Partnership Act Zoom meeting regarding the ongoing program and participation of MUTA members as a primary stakeholder in the implementation of CCSPA in Madera Unified School District. This Thursday, several MUTA officers and I will be in Ceres for a CTA regional meeting to address the continuing erosion of California public school educators' incomes, including the impact on MUTA members' economic futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thank you. Are there any other union presidents?
Yes, but not that they want to make a public comment at this time.
No comments?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 11, superintendent's time.
So President Seibert, I want to just go through some really important accomplishments and occurrences in the last few days and weeks. First, Madera County's academic decathlon was held on the 1st of February, and we had 3 comprehensive high schools represented with really talented and strong teams this year. The Coyotes and Stallions were neck and neck throughout, and it seemed either could have won. Ultimately, Glacier Charter from Oakhurst was victorious, but you wouldn't have known that from the enthusiasm and the teamwork on display from our schools. The Toros put together their best team yet, and it was very young and motivated. We expect big things from them, and the Coyotes more than tripled the size of their team in the last 3 years and made us very proud. The Stallion tradition continues to improve and set the pace for our entire district. Special thanks goes to Coyotes Nathan Pantoya, Stallions Leslie Rouse, and Toros Jesus Hernandez. These 3 coaches put together very competitive and successful teams that made us really proud. The difference in our competitiveness since the board agreed to add funding for our class section has been obvious, and since the 7th A period was added, the teams have nearly doubled in size. Our student trustees from Madera High School and Madera South achieved several honors as well. Angelica Castillo and Angelica Cervantes Hernandez were honorees in the public speaking portion and obviously represented us quite well. Our Future Farmers of America had their dinner dance on February 1st. And the dinner dance has been outstanding for years. And this one was just as outstanding as ever, with the exception of some major products from the shop that were up for auction this year that seemed to be even better than any year previous. Congratulations to John Steinmetz for the successful auction of a $1,050 cheesecake, and the Stallion Ag teachers just do an amazing job. That group of teachers, I think, just sets a standard that I try to live up to. I try to never let them down, and we're very blessed to have their leadership and expertise. Also want to share with the board that we had our Parsec Education Summit, and we know the Parsec team pretty well. Ms. Sissel, Mrs. Tosky, and Mr. Cazares spotlighted their efforts with UC Merced's Ismael Serrano. They provided the entire process by which they organized and executed a really incredible summer math project. That's one of those things that is really hard to describe, but when you find out that students attended UC Merced for how many weeks was it, Ms. Sissel? 4 weeks of solid math all day from start to finish. And the growth that they showed is like almost worthy of a screenplay at this point. Those two teachers are just tremendous. But Trustee Duque Martinez stole the show with her representation of the power of student voice. While on stage with student trustees from LA Unified, San Diego Unified, and San Francisco Unified, Madera Unified shone the brightest. Trustee Duque Martinez distinguished herself and brought honor to her role and to our district through her professionalism and positivity. Thanks for standing so tall amongst giant districts. We appreciate it. Also, Project Run Madera hosted its annual gala to raise funds for the track and field athletes of Madera. Alicia Brown, an athlete, a coach, and a Coyote teacher, has developed something special with only a desire, literally something from nothing, to give back to our kids. The nonprofit organization seeks to support over 600, you heard me right, 600 student athletes this year with a wide range of gear from sports bras to shoes, whatever it takes to help our athletes feel confident and valued. Thanks to all the attendees and contributors who made that possible yet again this year, and thanks to Alicia Brown in particular for her vision. And then finally, Madera South had a student voice meeting today. Trustee Dybert, thank you for being there with us. I want to thank Trustee Angelica Cervantes Hernandez, who led a fantastic student voice meeting, was very intentional, and she included several newcomer students so that they had an opportunity to provide us feedback. The tone of the meeting was very mature, thoughtful, and valuable. And the notable elements we heard were many, and I emphasize many, because this was a high watermark, I think, for all of our student voice meetings up to now. Many compliments on the personal relationships being developed by the staff. The students mentioned teachers, safety officers and counselors, and Mr. Steinmetz by name, but they mentioned repeatedly teachers, safety officers, and counselors, and that was really special to hear. And they made the comments that they feel as though the safety procedures in place make them feel safe. The way the safety officers treat them and greet them every morning make them feel safe. The way their teachers interact with them every single day make them feel safe and supported. And Trustee Dybert, this is making me a little emotional because this is something we've been going for a long time. But you can corroborate what they said that was really, I think, powerful. When asked how many teachers, how many adults on campus they feel like they could trust to help them if they needed it, at least 3 kids at our table said, too many to count. We have never heard that before. They always give us a number, but that was something new. So in the last year, we've heard at Madera High and at Madera South, like new levels of acknowledgement from the students. So I just want to say that out loud because I think our student trustees are able to get that out in a way that we couldn't get to before. And it's very validating that we have people doing the right work with the right heart on a day-to-day basis, hour to hour. So thank you.
Thank you for the oil. That academic decathlon, I thought we were gonna win.
I think everybody
There's
did.
so many awards.
Yeah.
So many kids are going up there getting awards. I don't know how we. I guess we're split up between 3 high schools. Makes it a little tough.
It was, our kids looked like Mr. T coming across the stage with all those medals.
Did a great job. Item number 12, new business. 12A1, Administrative Support Services approves the 25-26 student enrollment and staffing projections. Superintendent Lyle.
Well, President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have Director Cox from our Facilities and Planning Department, and she's been here a lot. And she's an expert. When we say the floor is yours, literally it is.
Good evening, President Seibert, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle. I will be presenting our enrollment and staffing projections for the 2025-26 school year, as I typically do this time every year. Specifically, I will be going over the assumptions and then review the projections with you. So our assumptions are as follows. So our student to teacher ratios are TK through 3rd grade is at 24:1. 4th grade is at 30:1, and then 5th through 12th grade is at 35:1. We will continue to have transitional kindergarten at all of our school sites next year, elementary school sites. Madison's DLI program will be TK through 8th grade next year. Pershing is a DLI strand school for kindergarten through 5th grade next year. Washington will continue to offer the Heritage Language Program for TK through 5th grade next year. At our middle and high schools, they will run a 7-period day. And fortunately, there are no attendance area changes for next year. So that is great news. Given that information, here is our enrollment and staffing projections for next year. Overall, we show a projection of 19,979 students district-wide. So an increase of only 2 students. So basically, we are projecting a flat enrollment. And that flat enrollment can be attributed to our declining kindergarten numbers. So as our senior class graduates and exits the district, it is being backfilled by a smaller and smaller kindergarten class. So for instance, we projected 1,335 kindergarten students for this year, and our actual enrollment was 1,162 students, so a difference of 173 students. And so our kindergarten numbers continue to decline. In the last 5 years, our kindergarten numbers have declined by 23%. So we were at about 1,518 students in 2019, and we are down to 1,162 students in 2024.
So Director Cox, just
Yeah.
very quickly, I know there are, there obviously are thousands of viewers online right now are asking themselves, or are the kids moving away? What's happening? And I think we know the answer to that, but if you would.
Well, and we are not alone in this. There's many school districts in California that are seeing declining enrollment, and it's attributed to, it's declining birth rates and students moving away. So it's twofold there.
Even the U.S. military is preparing for declining birth rates in their recruitment efforts. So this is like a nationwide phenomena at this point.
Correct.
In I think all 50 states.
That's correct. Moving on to staffing, we are projecting an increase of 4.8 regular ed FTEs and then 2 special ed FTEs. So a grand total of 6.8 FTEs. And that concludes my presentation for this evening. Short and sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cox. Now I open this item for public comment. Ms. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you. Seeing none come forward, I'll close public comment. Trustees, have any questions for staff? Seeing none. Okay, I now entertain a motion at second to approve item number 12A1. Please state your name when you make the motion and second the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I'll move to approve the 2025-26 student enrollment and staffing projections.
I'll second it, President Seibert.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Fleek and seconded by trustee Salazar to approve the 2025 to 26 student enrollment and staffing projections. Ms. Elizondo, would you please poll the board?
Trustee Campos Gutierrez.
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez.
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad.
Yes.
Trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert.
Yes.
Trustee Fleek.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza.
Yes.
And President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you. Item number 13, announcements.
No, we're going to go to the other new
13
business.
We have a
Yes.
13A1.
Oh, yeah.
This time.
We don't want to miss that one.
We're going to go to, yes, to 12B1.
Okay. So, how do we introduce that?
It would be the same thing, Superintendent Lyle. Then we would have.
So President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board. Trustee Salazar asked that we pull the item regarding ERC consultation for grant fund for grant evaluation. We have Assistant Superintendent Marshall here for that item. Superintendent Marshall.
Good evening, everyone. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle. Here to address any questions that you may have in regards to the ERC board item.
Well, my question was, I know it's a grant. Explain to me what this one consultant resource is going to be doing.
Yeah, so ERC under this grant, and we also have ERC that supports grants that we have. They will be running the evaluation of this grant. So we have to have an outside evaluator to support the metrics that are going to be aligned with the deliverables for this grant. So that's going to be their primary job, is running the pre-assessment and then also following up with the post at the end of implementation.
So are they going to be like evaluating just like certain areas? What are actually they're going to be evaluating?
This one specifically will be around our attendance. So there's a platform that we've acquired, and a few best practices are attached to that. So for example, Attendance Works is a program that comes out. They provide coaching to sites, intervention opportunities, and also support with our, what is it called? It's Laugh and Learn. So we had a 4-week course that was put together to bring families out that focused on our TK 1 through 1st grade families to engage in, and we held 4 weeks of that at Berinda. So they support with a lot of that implementation pieces and measure the amount of effectiveness that surrounds those.
Do they tell you what they're going to be evaluating, or can we suggest what we would evaluate us on this area? Like say where is the most absenteeism, what grade level? I know it's not in the TK in that grade. It's in the maybe 5th, 4th, 6th graders. What grade level they evaluate us in that, evaluate us what we're doing, so that way we could get, like you said, an outside source looking in, what do we need coaching in? Besides the classes we're taking, what do we need coaching in? Because my concern is, even though it's a grant.
I'm sorry.
I know, with our discussions over here, sorry. Thank you. The thing is that I know it, like I said, I know it's a grant, but focusing, where do we need the evaluation at? Or is it geared by this grant only? What their different criteria is?
The deliverables will be attached to that. So that's a part of the evaluation of looking at our elementary system and pinpointing what areas within that system there's gaps and supports that are needed. Right now, we're looking at our top 8 schools that have a high level of chronic absenteeism, and looking at what would be some types of efforts to decrease the absenteeism for those 8 schools. And of course, the most and the best that you can do for the least definitely impacts and helps everyone else in that. So they do play a role in really pinpointing what areas where the gaps are, and efforts for us to close those gaps for both our students and our families.
Thank you so much, Director Prince, for explaining.
No problem. Yeah, that's a $8.8 million grant.
Yes.
And for how many years? Spread out over?
I believe by the time we acquired it, it's a 2-year grant. So we have finishing out this school year, we have another year before that grant.
$4 million a year.
Yeah, it includes staff, consultants, evaluation.
Then is our staffs are going to be trained. We're not going to need any anymore.
Excuse me?
So when we're done with this grant, our staff will be trained, all of our schools.
Oh yeah.
We don't need any support anymore for this.
Best practices will be acquired through implementation, and replicating those practices across other sites is definitely the goal, to build sustainability behind what we're doing. So it doesn't just go away when the grant goes away. So building capacity among staff, our administrators, to support this work.
Uh, Any other questions? And I'll entertain a motion. State your,
Clerk Mendoza.
Public comment.
public comment.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have anyone who wishes to address the board.
Seeing no one, we'll close the public comment. At this moment, I'll entertain a motion.
Clerk Mendoza, I move to approve 12B2, formerly 9G3, approve the consultant services agreement with ERC.
President Seibert, I second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Clerk Mendoza and seconded by Trustee Salazar. All in favor, say aye. Do we need to poll the board?
We do.
We need to poll.
We do for the record, and it would be 12B1 for this
Okay.
item.
Correction 12B1.
Thank you. Okay, I can pull the board. Trustee Campos Gutierrez.
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez.
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad.
Yes.
Trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert.
Yes.
Trustee Fleek.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza.
Yes.
And President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent, and 2 of the votes were preferential.
Okay, thank you. In the
Thank
old
you.
days, we didn't have to poll the board unless it was a resolution. All right, thank you. Okay, we're on 12, item number 13, announcements. Superintendent Lyle, do you have any announcements for the board?
These are quick ones. President Seibert, I just want to remind you in front of everybody and Trustee Fleek that tomorrow we'll be at CVEC. They're coming to Madera County Office of Ed, and we meet with them to find out the legislative priorities of Sacramento. We also have a PAC meeting that'll be held in the Student and Family Support Training Office at 6 p.m. I believe that is tomorrow. Is that not correct? Yes. District has reserved a table of 8 seats at the Coyote Baseball fundraiser dinner. That's scheduled for Saturday, February 15th. The event will be held at San Joaquin Valley Winery and is set to begin at 5 p.m. If you're interested, make sure that you speak to Maria. Schools and administrative offices will be closed in honor of President's Day next Monday, February 17th, 2025. Don't get too upset, everybody. The next DLAG meeting is scheduled for Monday, February 24th. The meeting will be held in the boardroom and begin at 6 p.m. And the district has been invited to participate as panel members and presenters at the 2025 CISC Symposium. That's the county superintendents put that on every year for the state. The symposium will take place in Anaheim. I'm part of one panel, and later the next day, Principal Beto Hernandez and Jamie Huerta and Aaron Falk will also present the quality work that their staff has been doing with Solution Tree for the whole state to see. The California Collaborative for Educational Excellence. You may recognize them because they're a pretty strong feature of the improvement efforts for our state superintendent of public instruction. They have invited these 3 principals to sit on the panel because of the excellent work being done by their staff, by their team of teachers at their schools. That'll be exciting.
Okay, on that LSSD I mentioned to you, that's what date? That's March.
That's in March on the, I don't know. I can't
I
recall.
was just trying to find it here.
Right. I think we just put that in our calendars. Apologize.
Oh, it's on a Friday, it'd be the 7th, I think. Yeah, it's the
Friday
7th.
the 7th.
So who are our representatives for Cal SSD? Salazar and Clerk Mendoza. Okay, so I want to go to that one too. I got a notice from Andrea Ball. We're gonna have the people there that I think I would like to talk to. And Superintendent Lyle, you're gonna try to make it, I guess. In your calendar.
When you tell me to be there, that's where I go.
Yeah. And,
Friday,
the 7th, March
the
7th.
seventh.
March 7th. Yeah. So we're working on a presentation for our legislatures. Because they're killing us on all the things they're passing. And so we're presenting, they're going to present a letter tomorrow at Central Valley Educational Committee, what do you call it? CVEC.
Education
And,
Coalition, right?
We want to address what's going on. You know, all the requirements they want us to teach is taken away from our career classes. Kids can't take it. And one of the items that I want to address is the reclassification of students from being ELD. Because if they don't pass it in elementary, it's almost impossible once they get into middle school and high school. And it's harder than any other test our kids take. And so they don't have opportunity to take these career classes, which is more important for them to take and they do better in. So this is things that we're trying to address.
And we did hear that today, didn't we? In the student voice meetings, there were students who said that they're getting to take the classes that they never could take before now. And they really appreciated that. Yeah, that was interesting. I actually thought I thought we would hear some other things. We heard that.
Anyway, CDE, they're trying to micromanage everything. Legislatures, they got some hot item, they want to pass it. Now they want to take a whole semester, teach academic literacy. And it goes on and on over the years. We get going and focused as a district, what we're doing with our kids, and the state comes out with a new mandate. And I think Maria and Liz, they get about 20 to 50 a day emails from them with things that they want.
We're going to count them up. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to journal it every day, and see how it all adds up. And so we can show them, what's happening. They're making it really hard on us. Our local control, we don't have it. And the good things will get going, like this 7-period day. I mean, a lot of districts, they don't have a 7-period day. And they don't know what to do because they're going to lose all their career classes. It keeps going on. And like I say, our ELD kids, they've been in ELD for 5-6 years. Why should they have to pass a test? Let them take the classes they want to take. So that's kind of a project we're working on right now. And that's why I want to go to that LSSD meeting, because we're going to talk about it tomorrow on CEVC. And so we've got the letter. I think you guys have the letter, get to read it. So you're working on that letter. You've kind of redone it. It's
we've added a little bit of language.
Yeah. And so hopefully we can get something going with all the superintendents in the valley, maybe superintendents that attend LSSD. Maybe we can get somewhere with it. Maybe not. So, but we're going to try. Item number 14, miscellaneous. Item 14A, board member committee and information reports. Trustees, this is an opportunity for you to provide the board with a brief update from any board advisory committee meetings that you have attended. Start with Trustee Dybert.
Yes, President Seibert. Yes, I agree with a lot of you're saying. We need to have more local control and I'm glad that we are uniting with the other school districts. I don't know if we started that or whether it was started at other school districts, but it's about time for us because every school district is different. It's just not one size fits all. And the students that live up north or live in the richest area don't have the same needs as our community does. So I'm applaud for starting that and spearing that out. And we hear it also at the schools. And this last, I don't know how I did it, but this last, between the last board meeting and this board meeting, I attended 4 school site council meetings. The voice is about the same. The parents want the students to achieve, and they also want to have control, and the staff is doing tremendous work. I attended Alpha School, John Adams, Madera High School, and Furman Independent Study. I just want to say that Alpha School, those parents should be brought as models and should be actually receive an award. I've seen them at the DLAC meetings. I've seen them representing at the PAC meetings. They're everywhere that I go, that there's a function, they're there. And they were there and they're very vocal. Even that some of them speak only Spanish, they're very vocal about their students' needs and how they can support. The previous principal, Tom Chagoya, that was there, he told me that in the mornings, there are about 20 parents dropping off the kids and helping in the cafeteria, and also being there for whatever activities they need. And you see them, they're representing either TJ, they move along and they work along. One of my takeaways from the meeting was that, well, the principal was presenting their NWA, and that was presented at a lot of the other schools, the results. One parent in particular, she stated that the teachers need to push their children. And she stated that COVID is long gone and it should no longer be blamed for everything. And the parents and staff discussed having a high achieving student program at Alpha and promoting reading. Actually, the students were there sitting, they didn't have babysitter that day, so the students stayed there, they ordered pizza. And he must have been a 5th grader, a 6th grader, and he raised his hand, he wanted to speak too. So they gave him the mic and he says, I'm an ELD student. And he says, they were talking about reading, how to promote reading among the students. And he says, you should give us more, like offer incentives and rewards and raffles and prizes so other students can read. I read at my house, he said, but I think my other classmates don't read. So that's why they don't move up. So I really like that he stood up and spoke. Principal Soyseda also talked about the teachers signing up for tutors. And they have about 20 or 30 students. He has about 10 teachers that are going to be tutoring the students. So that was pretty good. I know we talked about it, the after school program last week, but she expressed that as well. Parents were very happy about that. And at John Adams, the focus of the discussion was ELA as well and reading. And Principal Quiroz said that the last 6 years they've been focusing on math. When she shared the NWA results, math was ahead of reading. And she said that they're gonna sit down with the leadership team and then try to focus also on reading. Know that they're gonna lack on math, but their goal is to have an intervention system in reading. They're gonna try to provide more support for the younger readers, the kindergarten through 2nd grade. So I really like that conversation. They're pretty much aligned at both of the schools. In fact, one kinder teacher, she said, she showed us a paper and it was like the students will write a story and then draw about the story and then read it to their parents. And then the parents will have to sign that paper and then bring it back. And that's a proof of having a family time, family reading. So I see that same conversation that we have here, that, you know, I know everything is on the computers and all of that, but I think having the paper reading and having a family time, like in the old times when my kid went to school in kindergarten, Mrs. Nelson used to send us a book and my child got to have Oreo cookies and milk. And he was more into the Oreo cookie and milk, but that routine that we had every evening kind of brought the families together and having a reading time. So really, I was very happy to hear all of that. Madera High School, the same thing, the support that the Mrs. Mascoro and there was Steve Gonzalez, his student advocate, also spoke about supporting the students and whatever their needs were so they can move up the achievement. So same conversations, and was very happy to hear that the same conversation. The Furman Independent Study, the same thing. Principal Angus stated that I think for next year, they will be exiting the CSI funding because their attendance numbers, I guess, have improved a lot. She also announced that the school will be purchasing more needed library books, and they haven't purchased library books in the last 5 years. So that was very nice. There were parents also there, well, at least 5 or 6 parents with their students that were getting some awards. So the students were very happy to hear that. They're adding more field trips for the high school students. One of the things though that I asked about the 7th and 8th graders, and they said that the elementary students and the up to 7th or 8th grade, I guess they don't come to the school like high school students do because they come once a week, so they get to see each other. They don't participate in field trips that much. So one of their charges is going to be trying to engage them or bring them maybe once a week and socialize and so hopefully take advantage of the field trips because they have field trips money. So that's very nice that they included that in their SAP program that they have. So that's one of the things. And the last one, I was also very happy. It's been a lot of good meetings that I attended. It was a student voice meeting. I just happened to sit, and I'm glad that I forget the last name of our trustee at Madera South. What's her last name?
Cervantes Hernandez, right?
Cervantes Hernandez. She invited sophomores. And at first there were at least maybe 5 or 6 students. And then later on they trickle in. And a lot of the students were from the newcomers class. So I sat down at one round table with them. So they didn't speak English too much because they were here only for 6 months, less than a year, a lot of them. There was a student from Honduras. Most of them were from Mexico. And we kind of related, we're immigrants. And one of the things that the newcomers, they were just like echo to Superintendent Lyle, is they felt so welcome. They say they had their families or maybe their parents. One of them didn't have the parents. It was only the aunt. And the welcoming that they had, the staff, they mentioned security, they mentioned the teachers, even at the food line, they were so excited about it. One of the things that they also mentioned was the teachers at the newcomers class. They were so welcoming. And I was talking to Mr. Steinman, and he says, the 2 teachers that they have, in fact, one of them is like a mother to them. She tells them, hey, did you forget to do this? Don't forget to do that. So the students, although they spoke in Spanish a lot, they felt good because they knew each other. They felt comfortable in those classes. One thing that the newcomers, I guess, faced, and they did tell me, was moving for them, it was a little bit intimidating, having to be at different classes, because in Mexico, and I don't know how it was in Central America, but in South America, the teachers traveled to us. I had my class in 7th grade to 12th grade, and the teacher came to my class. So we were in groups together for 5 years. So that's where they felt sometimes in the other classes a little bit alone. They didn't fit because the other teachers were there. They didn't have electives because the 3 electives had to be ELD English classes, but they were very happy about the school environment. They couldn't be happier. I think it was very nice to listen to them. So, and that's all my report, but they were all good things. Right?
Nothing to report. Report at this time.
Of course. Capital Advisors had a governor's budget workshop. 58% of the California voters passed Proposition 2, and Proposition 2 makes numerous changes to the school facilities program, and $8.5 billion go to the K through 12 and $1.5 billion for community colleges. And people have talked about this, but the FFA dinner was well attended, and all the auction items that the students made were very creative. And if I wasn't getting rid of stuff at home, I think I would have bid on something because everything looked so good. The academic decathlon was held February 1st at Madera South, and all the teams were very impressive. I think it would be hard to decide which one, should be the winners and which one should be in second place. And on February 5th and 6th was the Parsec Summit was held. And of course she left, but our very own Emily Duque Martinez was in the student board member panel. And she was very impressive. You could tell she was listening and listening not only to the question, but to the other students. And we talked about it later, and they're treated differently than she is. And she was very appreciative that we were more respectful to her. She was great when she spoke on the panel. And later she was interviewed by Parsec. And they would ask me something too. And I thought, well, I can't beat what she just said because she's very well spoken. Thank you. Oh, wait, I was going to say, we're right in the middle of our third grade tours of the Madera County Museum. And we were nominated for the best in the Central Valley, for the best museum, the best attraction, and best volunteering site. So it would be appreciated if you go to maderamuseum.com and vote for us. The voting begins on Monday, February 17th and goes through March 7th. And we're in competition with all the other Fresno museums. And so it would be nice if we could win something for a change.
So let's vote early and often.
Yeah. Yeah, you can vote every day. We were thinking, oh, sit there and vote, 10. No, you can only vote once a day. So you have to kind of write yourself a note. Okay, go vote. But thank you.
Same thing like trustee Fleek and the superintendent, the dinner, the FFA dinner, the Sissel, the desserts, those auctions, it was always amazing. It always surprised me, and I stay for the auction, then I leave, but I don't bid on anything, but that's the donations and everything, and the turnout is fantastic for that dinner all the time. On the academic, the decathlon, I attended, but I was a judge. I've been a judge since before I was a trustee. And these kids, I never really look what school they're from, just, they present their ID and stuff like that. But the diversity, the challenges they've been through, the accomplishments they've been through, and all of them have been given to the community, and they're so happy about it. There was one student that he says that if he has a friend that's homeless, he invites him to his house, helps them get on their feet, and then they move on, and then he invites them, and just different one. But there was one that touched me, one young lady, and she said that she wanted to hurry up and get her driver's license because she wanted to run the errands for her parents that her mom was afraid to do because afraid that she'll be taken by immigration. And that really touched me. She wants to be an attorney, of course, to help keep some of these laws and change some of the laws, but it's just that she's stepping up, and she's only 16. And so those students, the different diversity they had in answering the various questions, because they don't know what questions we're asking. And there's different various questions we ask, and it's very good. So I'm on the judging side. I didn't stay for the awards because my grandson had his last basketball game, so I had to give personal time as well. And I apologize, I missed that Parsec conference. I got sick, but it looks like there was good stuff that came out of it. But other than that, but on the CVSC that we're going to attend tomorrow, I think they should, I want to suggest that we should be inviting some of our assemblymen and women to those meetings, for they could hear direct from our superintendents from the different schools of our counties here in the Central Valley of what we are going through and what they're implementing onto our school districts, so they could hear it from the grassroots instead of, what the assembly will, but in other words, that radio, by the time it gets to the state, it's already, not what the schools are going through. Thank you.
I hope is that the superintendents that attend will take this letter that we're building and take it to their representatives in their local district and create a movement kind of.
But it also needs to start with our local supervisors, even our city council, and I got invited on the 13th, that's Thursday, with Assemblywoman Soria, and Senator Caballero invited me to another event next week. And I'm gonna go, but just to lend a year or two after I could think it's after this CBSC, to kind of share what the struggles that we're going through, what you're implementing. Do you realize? But I know a couple of months ago, Assemblywoman Soria attended one of these meetings, and she goes, it was the first time she's ever attended. And so I think we need to be attending, inviting them more so they could come and hear, what the voices from the education locally. Thank you.
Thank you, President Sauber. I too attended the FA event and it was really nice. I had a really good time and stuff. Anyway, I had a question for trustee Dybert. And all the meetings that you've gone to, was there always a translator for the parents? It was, okay, good, good deal. And President Cyber, that's it, me.
All right, thank you. Only one I'll report on is Lavina ELAC and Schools Like Council meeting. So parents or anything else, they want the kids reclassified. And so that's why they're worried about the kids getting in the upper grades, 6th, 7th, and 8th in high school, and they can't get out once, you know, test gets too hard. So we're trying to address that issue. And I asked them the questions about they use Me2B. Well, they don't only use Me2B, but they use from the LCAP and all the information. They focus on those kids, how many points you need to gain to get out, if it's reading or math or whatever. So they're really focused. And they have 2 tutors during the day, and they're getting 2 more on the after school program. So they're getting a lot of help out there, and we're doing our after school program doing well. The 2 tutors are reading specialists, teachers, right? For the district, and
We have
volunteer to
some
go
of our
out.
teachers are doing that.
That's admirable. And that's all I got on the reports. See, where are we at now? We're on
Future agenda items.
future agenda items, item number 14B. Trustees, do you have any items you'd like to board the leadership to consider for a future agenda meeting?
I don't know when is our timeline. I just put away my calendar, but our district goal is set for spring of 2025. And when that is, I think we should start thinking about sitting down and talking with staff what our goal is. And I would like to sit down with President Seibert, and I have some ideas that I would like to put together. And I like the focus, and the more that I read, the more I've been immersed in that and listening to parents. I think mastering in our early grades, it's a must before we keep moving kids to 3rd or 4th grade before they get frustrated and then don't focus. So I think we should consider that. I have some talking ideas that I put together that I can put them in writing and then submit it to you. You would like.
I asked Superintendent Lyle to ask our cabinet, our leaders, to what goals do they think we need to be addressing? Because they're in the field, they're working. It's always a work in progress, but they know where they're at and what's the next steps or goals, what they think they should be. To bring that to us so we can consider that and work together on building our goals with the staff. So they're working on that. Anyone?
I just had a question on these reports that were given today, these elementary achievement reports. So I see we have fall, winter, we don't have spring, obviously he's not here. So, but like the percentage has been met, by the students, is that just gonna be until we get the spring, or why couldn't we have a running where they're at right now? Percentage on this week. Like on this one's the elementary one, and I'm looking at Alpha, it's like 3 pages in, but it has 17% in fall, 20%, and then then it has for spring, but it has percentage met for the best. Can we have a running total there, or do we have to wait till spring comes in?
Yeah, I mean, that shows you where we are at the moment, but it is a spring goal. That's what was set. So that's the one that matters most.
I know that, but like, for instance, if my grandson, where is he at right now to where he's supposed to be? right? And this is just showing me, I know where he's at winter, or where is he supposed to be? And so I'm assuming in the middle B, and when they do the NWA, they say, well, he gained 25%, but his goal was this. And his goal is 85 and he's at 65, he needs 20 more percent. But overall in our school sites and Alpha, where are we at with third graders up to date? I see 17% for baseline on fall, and I see winter to 20%. But overall, where are we at? 37%? That's what I will add it up and say 37%, but that's wrong.
No, I don't think it is. And you don't add those up. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Rodriguez, what we're looking at is that number represents where we are at the moment.
Then the column should say that, because of the way it's reading, I'm thinking, okay, all Alpha third graders are at this. Not until I get to the very back and until you tell me those words, and my knowing is compared to nationwide. You know, so that's not what the book is saying. That's what I'm saying. If that's it, then we should have either a small column in middle saying compare, or on the top another header saying compared nationwide. But that presentation won't be done until winter, spring.
It's
Yes, until
in our
spring.
board calendar now.
It's April,
I
but
believe it is April because that's when the finals, but we can certainly talk about how to.
Because not all of us have the chance to attend these site meetings and to see how those principals are addressing their NWA with their sites. And so this, if we're gonna be getting these reports, well, you're telling me Alpha's at 20% of what?
So trying to find the right words here. They're at against the rest of the nation,
Mhm.
they would be at the 20th percentile of achievement.
But the book doesn't say that.
hear
Doesn't
you.
say it. I mean, like myself, and I've stated so many times when I'm president for 2 years and everything, I don't need all this. I just want the data for each school site. Because as you know, I put it in the spreadsheet and I could see the Primark View, you know, Sierra Vista, Chavez. What are we doing here? What is it that Monroe's doing? Are we collaborating with Chavez? Because Chavez is having issues. Just an example. So that's why I want to see. And I've been asking for this several years. And I even gave you guys samples of how I would like it. And I don't know what I need to do, but I'm not getting it. And I know the presentations you do, but that's in spring. Meantime, we're in February and kids go through a lot. And we just came off a winter break, which is good. And of course, we know fall is when they come in and they're progressing less because they had the summer break. But you know, it's just, I just appreciate it. If you could listen to the reports that I would like, you know, because I've been saying this for a while.
Okay, I apologize. We'll,
I know, and
we'll
I-
put our
and
heads
no
together and try to
disrespect,
come
no
up with.
disrespect, but I've gotten apologies. And I really like to look at this because, again, I want to see how all of our students are doing. It doesn't matter to me if they're middle class, they're lower class, if they're whatever, the Spanish speaking, DLI, whatever there is. I just want to know how are we doing.
Is this telling us that the kids are grade level ready?
No, not exactly. That's a different metric still.
So I think the reports that were initially given to us did measure grade level readiness. They did give us those scores or how they were performing as far as grade level readiness. But we requested the progress that they're making towards the goal. And so the best growth goal obviously is the 80% of our students and so on and so forth. But these are lag measures, right? These are indicators of how we're performing, and then the ultimate goal is for our kids to be 80% of them to reach their best growth targets. But these are lag indicators, lead indicators rather.
these percentile growth measures, right? So, but I'd like to, trustee Salazar, I'd like to, just to get to understand more as far as what you're requesting as well, I'd like to, maybe if you'd be open to sharing that spreadsheet that
I
you.
did. I brought it to our closed session.
Okay.
I did.
Okay, I'll look for it, and maybe,
I
if
brought
I-
it to a couple of meetings with superintendent as when I was president, and I brought it to our closed session too.
okay, I'll look for that and take a look at
But
it.
I could email you it easily.
Yes, I would appreciate that.
President Cyber. That's why I think it's important as board members, as trustees, as a board, to discuss what is that we want from staff, where do we want our students, and what is that we want, whether we want to focus. When we see the data, we need to be in one accord, need to tell staff what is that we want them to work on or present. And we hear it at the school site council meetings. Our parents want students to be focused on reading. And I know you hear it, and I know you go to school site council meetings. So I think it's important for us also to evaluate is what is that we're asking staff to focus on, just like the principals, they look at the NWA data because that's what the principals share at the school site council meetings. And they look at where they're lagging, where they need to focus, and they work on their SAPs. They're gonna be meeting, I guess, next Monday or the following Monday, and the following Monday, and they're going to talk about what they're gonna focus, what the strategy is going to be. And then probably that's why they're waiting until spring to give us their report, because there's gonna be more data or changes that are gonna be done here. So I think it's important for us ourselves to work on, it's what is that we are asking staff to do, or what kind of, what our goal is, and whether we're gonna have different goals at elementary level, at early grades, at middle school, because at the same time, every different group of students have different needs. What is the goal for middle school? What's the goal for the high school? So I'm not sure if a board workshop with staff, I know you have asked staff to give us input on what should be focused on. I think I would like to hear that from you too, because the board is asking, and I understand what trustee Salazar is asking, but I see the staff is kind of focusing more on percentiles. So maybe if that is something that we need to focus on, maybe sit down at a workshop and discuss what is the priorities, what do we need to focus on, so we're not asking for something that maybe staff doesn't think that that's relevant, or they feel that this other information is more important or shows better where we are and where we're going. I'm not sure that's expressing myself, but,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. We had a workshop last year. We had a workshop. My executive staff came in. We went over our goals. We went over what we wanted, what our priorities were. We went through that. You want me to bring out my notes? I will. I'm sure we have a recording of that. We did go through that workshop that you're talking about. We did. We went through our priorities, and we went through our different categories, and we were in here. We spent a couple hours going through that. And the executive staff sat here and saw us go through this workshop.
I want to get back to the school site council. I also attend a lot of school site council meetings, and I go and I listen. If they ask me questions, I will answer, and I will say, but I'm just one board member. But I don't think us interacting that much with them, it's going to take away from, the parents talking with the administration and sharing their ideas. I don't know if it's a good idea for us to kind of butt into what they have. And that's why I don't say anything unless they ask me a question. But I think that's something, they want us to hear and think about, but I don't think we should make them think that we're trying to take over and have our input when that's their meeting for what they're thinking about.
that has not been that case in every meeting that I attended. They know the principal makes sure, at least the schools that I go to, the parents are the ones who are providing the input, and they never have approached me or asked me or felt pressure that a board member is interfering with the meeting. I don't know, that wasn't in my case.
Well, they're not gonna do that because you're a board member.
Right, so they don't ask me, and I
Wait,
don't think that it
President-
changes the dynamics of the meeting, but I just want to get back to, we need to give directions, and I know we met and we had a workshop, trustee Salazar, about our goals, but I'm wondering if things are changing, because things change, and if we need to sit down and talk about it and give a different direction based on staff feedback, then, maybe it's the time to sit down and talk again.
Yeah, I asked Superintendent Lyle, Assistant Superintendent Cheryl Sissel to give us a report on, I think in March you'll be ready on what they're doing and programs they're using, how they're focused on reading, on all the best practices and everything. So that'll be coming forward. And then we need to listen to them, what they're focused on, what they need from us to get to that next level. And then we can set our goals to help them attain and reach the goals that they're trying to reach with these students. The goal is, every kid at grade level and beyond. It's the ultimate goal. Where we're at today and what we're working on, and, they need to let us know where they're at, what they're working on, and then we'll understand everything. And then if we got any comments or questions, we can ask them, and with them, we'll build the goals. That way we'll know more of what they're doing. But, picking out of the sky, I want this goal or that goal. That's what the state's doing to us. Bringing up a class, they want a semester academic literacy. Well, they don't know what we're doing. A lot of our classes are already teaching that. They tell us we've got to have ELD with these kids in the test. These kids can't take their career classes. They'll learn more in a career class than they're going to learn in an ELD class.
Well, don't disrespect President Seibert, but we're not pulling out of the air. We had a meeting where we set goals, and that's the goals that we set. And then we've been having these workshops to say how's the best way we can get those goals reported to us. And those critiques were done in workshops and taken time by everybody to set those goals and the guidelines, but we still can't get there. We're already, fourth year, fifth year, I don't know, last count.
We need to have a conversation. These are our goals we set. This is what they're working on, where we're at today, and we got to adjust those goals a little bit. So.
Yeah, but we don't know where we're at, because we can't.
We will in March.
And an example of, the state not knowing ethnic studies. I mean, I've heard so much and everything's different, and some schools are starting it, some schools aren't, but they're saying that you're going to have to do this by this date.
Right. So now they got, they're doing their reading program they're working on. Well, then the governor, they want one with, deals with the dyslexic students reading program. So now they're burdened with that one. They're gonna have to get that one done too. Our staff is working really hard. All these mandates and requests from the state. They're. Yeah, I wanted to report, maybe like this week, and they want to hear what they're working on. And they don't have time to put another report together until March. We got timelines they got to meet. So. Well, these I don't,
We will put our heads together. Trustee Salazar, I hear you. We have not, I promise you, we've not intentionally let down anyone or tried to disregard any requests. We will put our heads together and figure out how to lead our way out of this so we don't continue to put a dark cloud over this issue.
I know our students are doing better. I know our students are doing math. I know, like Madison, why are they not testing out the DLI? It shows when I do that spreadsheet, I can see, and then I go back to when I go to these meetings, the committee meetings, and I hear what they're sharing, their reports that CISO presents and the staff presents, which is very good. And you could see it's literacy and reading. Okay, so that'll help us a question. Okay, so where are we with literacy and reading with this here, this grade here? Okay, well, we're doing this. You had your strategic planning, this is what we're doing, fantastic. Then I know where we're at.
Okay, advanced planning, item number 15. Next regular board meeting scheduled for February 25th. Do we have anything else for advanced planning? None? Okay, item number 16, we adjourn at 8:35.